Here's the tulips right here. These are like the first tulips, I think. And a lot of the daffodils haven't bloomed yet. And it's about 65 degrees. It's been pretty cold up to the last few days. Looks like all the spring growth is starting to come on. All the bulbs are blooming. Here's the tulips right here. These are like the first tulips, I think. And a lot of the daffodils haven't bloomed yet. Here's some winter aconite. Here's some of these early spring bulbs. I never can get the name right. I think these are called Alpine rosy bells. All these irises, tulips that are coming on. These are daffodils. I really like them though. They're not the big, huge hybrid ones that you always see. I think these are ones that have not been hybridized yet. And I kind of like ones that have not been hybridized yet. Roses that have not been hybridized usually always smell much better. And the thing I've noticed about more of the wild species with the smaller flowers is there's a lot more of them, and they will reproduce faster. And this here is yeah, I don't know. It looks like something I planted last year though. This is Yarrow Cerise Queen. It's got big red crested flowers. This is going to be Alpine strawberries. I'm sure glad they came back. I just planted them from a small start here last year. And where I got them from, they had just spread all over the place, even into the lawn. And I'm pretty sure what's happening is the birds just love the little tiny strawberries. And they're not the big hybrid ones, they're the little ones like little, any kind of little teeny blueberries like the tip of your finger. The small berries, from what I understand, they are really sweet. And people just love the taste of Alpine strawberries. And so the birds evidently do too, and they will spread them everywhere. Because once the birds eat, then they pass the seeds on wherever they're sitting. These are peonies coming up here. This plant here goes dormant as soon as it starts to warm up outside. This here came back. I think it was ground cover I planted here. I thought it was called dichondra, but I don't think that was it. I think they gave it a different name. I wanted to think it was something else. These little blue flowers here that you see in the wet. It must have been, in fact, I know it's been over 30 years ago that a friend of mine just gave me a start off of those. And so now, every time that I move around a plant, transplant these tulips or whatever, it seems like some of those show up. And so they're just spreading all around my garden, and they're really nice. Once it starts to warm up outside though, they're gone till next year. And here's some more of those. I guess I have to find out the name of this because I've forgotten that I planted here last year, but you can see they're spreading all over this area. I planted them here because I've seen in so many garden books they'll be growing over the tops of stepping stones like this here. And in fact, they have the ones with the dark green and the ones with the pale green leaves. And when you plant those together, it's a nice contrast. And they can grow over stepping stones, and it doesn't hurt them to be walked on. Here is a hardy geranium that's coming starting for this year. Yeah, it's just getting started. There's a big clump of that right here that's been growing here for several years now. And that's kind of what I like, is having these plants here. They just keep coming back every year. But then it's nice having some annuals, because annuals have a longer blooming period, whereas perennials have a shorter bloom period, but then they come back next year. Are really perfumey, big, showy bulbs. Here's another spring flower that I've got everywhere, that's reproducing itself everywhere. A lot of these bulbs reproduce by vegetative reproduction. In other words, the bulb will grow another bulb right next to itself. And lilies and tulips and daffodils all do that. I think these are daylilies. There's irises and tulips. Daylilies here. I just love having tons of different kinds of flowers all growing in the bed and just coming back each year. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure it's something. And we'll just have to wait and see if it blooms. And if it doesn't bloom, maybe I'll just dig it up. There's some sedum. It's got red crested flower. Here's some of the bigger daffodils that are starting to bloom now. And some of the wild little ones. Those are fine. I like those. They reproduce a lot faster, I think. And this here is Vinca minor, right there. I planted a little bit of that. It's been growing here in my yard for years and years and years. These look like crocuses. This is a Japanese iris, I think. It's like a miniature iris, but I think it's Japanese iris or something. There's another one. It's a daffodil. I don't know why it's laying over like that. As long as I think the snow gets to them. This is Helboris. Christmas rose or Easter rose or something like that. Tulips are all just blooming great, as you can see. We've had some nice weather and we've had some cool weather. Right now it's in the 50s. It's been going down into about the 30s every night and the 50s or 60s in the daytime. The tulips are doing really good and everything else is starting off. Here's some that are just coming on. Here's all the hyacinths. Here's some hardy lilies down here that are coming on. Lots of stuff coming on. I don't know what it is. I think I remember this had like a yellow flower on top of it. Peony needs to be blooming by Memorial Day. Lots of hardy lilies coming on. It's amazing how fast those multiply. These tulips over here. And here's more hardy lilies. They're all over the place. Here's more. Now, a lot of these tulips I planted last year, but these ones in the center of the aisle, right straight here, I know those been there for several years. So a lot of these tulips are coming back every year. And I think that the way to get your tulips to come back every year is to cut the blooms off as soon as they're done blooming, but also leave the ground like it is. I think one of the worst things you can do to your flower bed is rake the leaves out of it and keep the dirt bare. These leaves and everything, they compost down into the soil, make a really good soil. And so I'm all in favor of leaving the ground alone around your flowers. And what kind of a daffodil is that? What the most I do is come in and pull up stuff I don't like grasses and this creeping Jenny. I need to get out here and pull up more of that. It comes up pretty easy if you just take the time to pull it up. There's some peonies coming up. I remember these peonies from last year. Those are really pretty. Daffodils are about done. I need to get out here and pull up all these, or dig up these dandelions. Look at the clematis over here growing. He'll be blooming here pretty soon. Look at that. This is lupine. I started here last year from seed. Columbine. I started from seed right there last year. I need to dig those up and put them somewhere else. It's 57 degrees. Nice warm weather out here. And cherry blossoms are over here blooming. This is a couple cherry bushes that have been here for, I didn't know how many years. I can't remember how long ago it's been since I planted them. So, in fact, actually when I planted them, this fence wasn't here. Yeah. Peony over here coming up. I forgot that I even put peonies over here. Look at these tulips. All the spring flowers. These are Oriental hybrid lilies coming up right there. And there's a tulip coming on. There's a poppy, and there's another lily right there. Actually, there's quite a few lilies over here. There's two right there. These are all daffodils or mystery lilies. I don't know which. Those poppies back there are going to be blooming here pretty soon. Look at these daffodils. This flower bed is really busy here early in the spring like this. But then later on, the daffodils die back in middle summer, and the poppies die back after they get done blooming in the middle of summer. Then there's not much left here. Another hyacinth coming on right there. This here is red hot poker. I just planted it last year. Hyacinths. I guess I didn't realize I planted so many. Look at that. There's another one right there. There's a tulip coming on right there. More daffodils. Way out here by the street, there's a hyacinth growing out here. All over the place out here. Here's one. Here's one coming on. This coming on here. That's another hyacinth, I think. There's another one there. Why lots of those? Look at these tulips. Aren't those pretty? Small daffodils. All kinds of new stuff coming on. This thing right here growing between the stepping stones is loose strife. It's got those yellow flowers all along the stem. And the flowers are so tiny. This is peony growing here. And these are oriental lilies coming up here. A whole bunch of them. Look, there's one. There's one. There's a whole bunch of them over here. Oh, there's one right there, almost on the path. See that? Those things grow over waist high and they have really big flowers. You come back in a few months and I'll show them to you. Look at all the daffodils over here. This is cranesbill geranium just getting started right there. This right here is a primrose. I don't think it's ever bloomed in a couple years I've planted it there. This iris I put here last year. Here's some poppies I put here last year. Here's some loose strife coming on. There's another poppy. This dirt is kind of dry. I'm going to have to water it here if we don't get some rain. Usually you don't have to, this early in the spring, you don't have to do any watering. It's dry. Some of those bush cherries, I planted them out here. I should have planted them up there by the honeysuckle. Just got new leaves all the way along there. There's some more yarrow. Oh, here's some primrose. Look at all the starts coming on that. This is bleeding heart coming on here. Oh, I just love these grape hyacinths. Look up this and see what it is. Russian sage or something. I don't know. I wonder if all these tulips are closed. because it's so cold. Do they open and close with the temperature? Now this hyacinth, I need to come out and prune that off because it's done blooming. This winter aconite, it's done blooming. These hostas are just coming up. There's some way out here. There's some over here. This is supposed to be a flowering crab, but I don't know what time it blooms. It hasn't been doing too much blooming. It has grown a little bit since we bought it, but it's not been blooming a whole lot. Dug this bush out of here. It's honeysuckle bush. Look at all these grape hyacinths. I just love the way those multiply. I need to get in here and start trying to get rid of this creeping Jenny. I think there's some grasses in there too. Here my honeysuckle's growing pretty well. I planted this here because I thought that it would attract hummingbirds. So we'll see if it does. This here is a ground cover phlox. It's blooming. Here is where I pulled up all of those daylilies that were just crowding everything else out. And so I'm going to start planting moss roses there. Probably nothing else. They're not very good with other plants. But if you leave them there by themselves, they will reseed. And this is a trumpet vine. Planted here last year, or the year before, I don't remember now. And it has supposed to attract hummingbirds. This is Laetris. It's not even started growing yet this year. Here's all this honeysuckle up here. So I planted honeysuckle and trumpet vine together. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the Laetris starting right there. I probably should just cut these off. I will. Here's some more trumpet vine. See, it's growing on old wood. There. So it's honeysuckle and there's trumpet vine right there. Just starting out this year. I planted this stuff over here because it's supposed to be for pollinators, and I've forgotten what it is. What's Russian? I don't know what it is. Agastanche? I don't know. Here's my rose. I pruned it way back this year. It's Mr. Lincoln. And this is my yarrow. I have to remember. And all these daylilies. I'm starting to, instead of pulling those up, just cut them down. And then they grow back, but it sets them back. There's peonies over here. Here's a hardy lily coming up. And I think that's a stargazer lily, if I remember correctly. Oh, nice. These are Virginia bluebells. See how they start out pink? Then they go to blue. Here's some daffodils that need to have the brown part cut off. Here's some that are still blooming. Here's coral bells. Here's a tulip that's not bloomed yet. Here's, what kind of tulip is that? Here's grape hyacinths. I can't remember the name of this at the moment. I'll have to look that up. Here is Brunera macrophilia. I don't know what else you call it, but look, it's blooming. I don't think I've ever had it bloom before. So it's got these tiny blue flowers. See? Brunera macrophilia. I'm sure of the name, but I don't know what the common name is. Common names are a lot more common to me. I think this is so pretty. These Virginia bluebells that are pink and blue. I love wildflowers a lot more than the big fancy hybridized ones. I think they ruin a lot of flowers by hybridizing them. This here is bleeding heart. It's not blooming yet though. One of the things in the future I got planned is this honeysuckle bush is coming out. Maybe put some North Star cherries or something in here. They're bush cherries. You can see how the bluebells are spreading over here and here. They are able to contend with the vinca minor. Just a lot of plants have a hard time going along with the vinca minor. These are grape hyacinths. I love those, just little wildflowers. They just keep spreading all over the place. These are daffodils. Look at that. These little daffodils. And the grape hyacinths spreading all over the place over here. And here they are over here. They can just spread all they want. I like them. Here's peonies. And here's more peonies. Be blooming by Memorial Days. Here's a tulip. More peonies going on. This looks like a damn honeysuckle bush I have to get rid of. Those things just come up everywhere. I'll be glad when I get rid of that. These tulips. Here's this hardy lily I planted over here yesterday. I dug it up out front there. And there's another one over here. Put it here. When it's cool like this, that's the time to move things. When the sun is not going to make them wilt. When you move a plant, you destroy the root structure. They have what they're called root hairs, which actually are the ones that suck up the water out of the plant, out of the ground. So when you move those, you tear all those off. And that's why a lot of times plants wilt after you move them, which is why it helps to move them when they're dormant, or at least when it's really cold. These are bleeding hearts. Dicentrospectrabilis. This plant's been grown here. This is lamium that's blooming with these yellow flowers. There's different varieties of it, but I have the one with greenish leaves, and this is agripodium, I think, snow on the mountain. It's even growing out in here to the grass, although I still mow it right over to here every year. And this is Vinca minor blooming right here. You see the flowers, they almost look like violets. They're all over the place in here. About the same time as the tulips. Here's Julie feeding her kitties. I did a whole video on the cats that Julie feeds, and surprisingly enough, that's had like 50 likes. People must have liked that. So you ought to watch that video called "The Cat That Lives in My Garden." All of these hardy lilies that have just multiplied from one. Isn't that something? Here's some more. And here's some more grape hyacinths. More hardy lilies. All these tulips. And I don't know what this is. I have to look it up. Peony's getting ready to bloom. This is sedum. It'll be knee high and have red flowers on the top. I'm not sure what this is. I forgot now. I know I just planted it last year. Love all of these grape hyacinths everywhere. There's a hardy lily coming up. I just planted this spring. Already I forgot what it is. Seems to be doing okay. These are loose strife. And this is, these are the violets, American violets. Grape hyacinths all the way through here with the tulips. And these are, it's not North Star cherry, but it's a small bush type cherry. Those are the ones I should plant over there too after I take out the honeysuckle bush. Here's stackies. Byzantia. I think it's got really fuzzy ears, white, with green leaves, but white fuzzy leaves. We call it bunny rabbit's ears, but there's a lot of names for it. Here's some cornflower. I just moved back here a couple days ago. Centuria and some hollyhocks. The leaves down here are doing okay. The ones up here are kind of wilted. I just moved them here a couple days ago. Oh, look at this. Grape hyacinths down in there. I forget what this is. I planted it there last year.